Finally, the stress and hustle of transporting a few bales of hay from Brekum to wherever you are, that's either in Accra, in Kumasi, in Tamale, in Nigeria, or wherever city you find yourself, is over. As from now, we'll be able to convert this hay with other concentrates, like the grain concentrates, that's maize, beans, soya, all of that into pellets for you. Yes, my name is Bless and welcome to Farming in Africa. If you quite remember, a few weeks ago, Fred spoke about bringing in a commercial pellet making machine to the farm. Finally, that machine is right here at the farm. And if you can hear the noise behind me, right here in this warehouse is where we are keeping this machine and where we are making the pellet for you. Look, this is it's been an exciting, at the same time tedious past week for us, as you all know these machines, they don't really come with a manual. So for the past 1 week, we've been trying different methods, we've been trying different formulations just to be able to get the perfect pellet for you. We've not cracked it yet, but yes, we are still on it. And in this video, I'm going to take you through all these trials that we are doing and how we are setting it up and how we'll be able to get you that perfect pellet for your livestock. So stay with me as I bring you this video. Welcome back to Farming in Africa. Even before I take you to the warehouse to see how we are making these pellets, I want to first of all share some of the benefits or some of the problems we'll be solving with these pellets. The first one, as I mentioned earlier, will be the transport. You know, from before we brought this machine in the past 2 years, what we do is to transport the hay from the farm here, the bales. If you guys know how the bales looks like, we transport that from the farm here to Accra and then distribute to farmers who want this hay. And you know, just to transport a few of them, that's just about 100 in a truck, costs us about 7,000 Ghana cedis, and that's really a lot of money. So just imagine, let's say we are transporting 100 bales at 7,000 cedis. That's even about 70 cedis per bale. And if we are just paying for transport of 70 cedis per bale, how much are we even going to sell it to you farmers to be able to recoup our the transport and then our input into making that whole bale? Yes, so that's what's making it difficult for us to be able to get you guys here in Accra, in Kumasi, and even all the way in Nigeria. But yes, with this pellet, we'll be able to now transport even 100 kg of pellet in a portable sack. And that is going to make it easier to transport a ton, 2 ton. Even so, that truck that is able to carry just about 100 bales will now be able to carry maybe even 10 tons of pellets from the farm here, where we can have it at our agro store in Accra. And you'll be able to have this for your farm or wherever you are, which solves the problem of us bringing you your feed from the farm. Another problem that this is going to solve is the wasting of bacteria. Yes, when we are feeding the animals the direct hay, or even during the processing of hay, we tend to lose a lot of the grass. Especially, let's say, even with the chaff cutter, we are able to cut it into smaller pieces for the animals to pick it. But still, they are not able to eat everything, and we still have a lot of the bacteria going into wastage. That's we have some on the floor. Even during transport, we have a lot that go into wastage. So with this, we are now able to save a lot more bacteria, where we'll be able to convert all these bacteria into pellet form for you. And another important thing that this is going to solve will be what I'll call having a complete feed. Initially, let's say if you are just having your hay, maybe most farmers, we don't have the complete feed that has all the necessary nutrients and the formulations that you need for the well-being of your animal. With this pellet, we will now be able to mix the bacteria with the maize, with the right quantity of soya, with the right quantity of wheat bran. All this, we now be able to mix it and make a complete feed out of it. So yes, this is going to be like a revolution in the livestock industry. Another problem that this is going to solve for us is being able to measure the exact quantity of feed that we are feeding our animals. These days, I think what we practice now is we just carry a bale, we give it to maybe 10 goats, we give them a bale without being able to track exactly how much we are feeding to them, how much exactly is being consumed. But now with the pellet, let's say you take in 50 kg of pellet. You know that, okay, for your 10 goats, you are going to feed them 50 kg. I'm not saying that 10 goats need 50 kg, but it's just an example that I'm giving. So with that, you are able to track the exact amount of feed that you are giving to your animal. So if you have this, right, we have a right amount of feed that we give to goat. Let's say goat, I think for cattle, I know cattle eat about 30% of their body weight. So with that, if you are measuring it, you are just going to calculate the body weight of the animal and then weigh in 30% of that and give it to them. Problem solved. You don't need, let's say when they are out there grazing, you are not even actually able to track how much of feed that you are giving them. But with this, you'll be able to now say, okay, fine, today I've given them this amount of feed. And in a week's time, have they increased in weight? Have they lost weight? So that you'll be able to regulate your feed and get them the right quantity that they need. And also, even the quantity, it's not just you measuring the quantity of feed that you are going to give to these animals, but also you being efficient. You're able to measure the amount of maize that you are bringing in, the amount of bacteria that you are bringing in, that you are able to balance your animal feed for them. So these are just a few of the problems that these pellets are going to solve for us here at the farm and you farmers out there. Okay, so I want to go inside there and bring in the chief operator at this warehouse who is in charge of producing these pellets for us. I'm going to bring him in and ask him a few questions and see how they've come with this producing of these pellets, how many trials they've done, and which kind of combinations they've done so far to produce what we have now. So yeah, let's go in there and bring him on board. So he tell us what they are doing here at the pellet making station. Okay, viewers, so here we are at the warehouse where we are producing these pellets, and he is in charge of the pellets that we are making here. So I'm going to let him take us through the trials that we are doing and how that have gone so far. So please, what are some of the trials that we've done? What combinations have we mixed so far, and what has this been like so far?
Okay, thank you very much. Basically, we are trying to produce a pellet for our goods. And then, first of all, we try to use maize, salt, and then wheat bran. We got to know that when we mix the wheat bran and the salt plus the glass, it produces. But what type of grass do you want? Is it dry or wet? So we're struggling with it. As we speak now, I think the dry grass plus the maize, salt, and then the wheat bran produces better.
Okay, so how did it turn out when we mix that's the green grass with the cereal?
Okay, so when you mix the green grass and the cereal, it tends to be so sticky, and then even it stops the machine. Okay. It ceases flowing, it doesn't come out. Okay. It takes some time before you untie or you unscrew, before maybe you take out all the grinded one before you put in another one. It was taking a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first lesson that we've learned is with the green grass, it's not able to produce the best pellets for us. So we have to switch now to the dry one, which is we've still not fully gotten the right combinations yet. But we are now trying with the dry ones, trying it with other cereals to see the right combination, whether to even grind the cereal or to just get it raw like that into the machine. But yeah, there was one time that we did a mixture and what came out was powder instead of pellets. So what caused that? What happened? What was the mixture that caused that powder?
Okay, so when you use the maize, the rice bran or wheat bran plus the salt, you automatically get powder throughout.
Okay, so if you are mixing your ingredient without adding the grass,
yes,
you are going to get powder and not pellets.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the most important thing that we are learning here is always to add our grass to the mixture. So we are still at the warehouse here where we are producing these pellets. We've produced enough to feed our animals today. But yes, this is not the right pellet that we still want to do. But we are still going to go on with the trials, and then at the end, when we get the final product, or when we crack it to how we want it to be, we are going to share that with you. Thank you very much for staying tuned for this video, and see you in the next one.